Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I'm your guide to wisdom in creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 152 of our trek, and yesterday we explored the 7 steps of a successful life. Today we are going to continue on the same trail and look for 9 related principles to create a lasting legacy. If you miss any of our days of our Wisdom Trek, please go to wisdom-trek.com and listen to them or read the daily journal. We are recording our podcast from the studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. This episode is scheduled to air on Friday when Paula and I will be making our last-minute preparations for our podcasting cruise. On the day that I'm creating this journal and podcast, it is my dad's 85th birthday, and we had a nice celebration for him. 3 of my siblings were able to make it in, along with our 3 oldest children. We enjoyed the time with them and their families, but especially this was the first time that all 6 of our grandchildren are together. It is a blessing for Granny and Gramps, and of course there are pictures of Dad and our grandkids on today's journal posting. As we get focused on our trek today, we realize that each day on our trek of life can be challenging and full of unexpected detours and obstacles. While some days will be sunny and bright and we will feel that we can literally conquer mountains, there are other days that are cloudy where the cold wind and rain blow against us to the point where it is difficult to move forward. If we anticipate and prepare for both the sunny and the rainy days, then regardless of what we are facing on a particular day, we will be able to keep in mind our ultimate destination and keep moving forward. Today's trail is an extension of what we discovered on yesterday's trek, but looked at from a slightly different perspective. We will put our power of observation to test once again and look for the 9 signposts that will help us in creating and living our legacy each day. As your guide and mentor on our daily wisdom trek, you know that I'm a bit of a philosopher and that I do love principles. Yes, actions are great and I talk about them all the time, but the important stuff is what lies underneath, the principles or precepts, or what we could refer to as our values. The very foundation from which our actions grow from. Here are the principles that we must commit to in order to create and live a legacy that we desire. Number 1 is life is best lived in service to others. Now this doesn't mean that we do not strive for the best for ourselves, but it does mean that in all things we serve other people, including our family, co-workers, and friends. We should practice what is called servant leadership, as described in Matthew chapter 20, verses 25 through 28. But Jesus called them together and said, "You know that the rulers of this world lord it over their people, and the officials flaunt their authority over those under them. But among you it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must become your slave. For even the Son of Man came not to serve, but to serve others, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Our second principle is, consider others' interests as more important than your own. Much of the world suffers because people only consider their own interest. People are looking out for number 1. The best way to create and live a legacy is to look out for others. Our third principle is to love your neighbor even if you don't like him. It is interesting that Jesus told us to love others, but he never tells us to like them. Liking people has to do with emotions. Loving people has to do with actions. And what you will find is that when you love them and do good by them, you'll more often than not begin to like them. Our fourth principle is maintain integrity at all cost. There are a few things that you can take to the grave with you. The number 1 thing is your reputation and good name. When people remember you, you want them to think, he or she was the most honest person that I knew. What integrity. There are always going to be the temptations to cut corners and to break your integrity. Don't do it. Do what is right all the time, no matter what the cost. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 9 puts it this way. People with integrity walk safely, but those who follow crooked paths will be exposed. Our 5th principle for today is you must risk in order to gain. In just about every area of life, you must risk in order to gain a reward. In love, you must risk rejection in order to ask the person out the first time. In investing, you must place your capital at risk in the market in order to receive the prize of a growing bank account. When we risk, we gain. And when we gain, we have more to assist others with. Our 6th principle is, you reap what you sow. In fact, you always reap more than you sow. You plant a seed, you reap a bushel. What you give, you get. What you put into the ground then grows out of the ground. If you give love, you will receive love. If you give time, you will gain time. It is one of the truest laws of the universe. Decide what you want out of life and then begin to sow it. Galatians chapter 6 verse 7 puts it this way. Don't be misled. You cannot mock the justice of God. You will always harvest what you plant. Our 7th principle is, hard work is never a waste. No one will ever say, it's too bad he was such a good and hard worker. But if you aren't, some will surely say, it's too bad he was so lazy, he could have been so much more. Be an example of hard work each day and you will live a grand legacy. Give it your all on your trip around this earth. You will do a lot of good and be creating a terrific legacy. Our 8th principle is, don't give up when you fail. Imagine the legacies that would have never existed if someone had given up. How many thriving businesses would have been shut down if they quit at their first failure? Everyone fails in life. It's just a fact of life. But those who succeed are those who do not give up when they fail. They keep on going and build a successful life. They create and then live a legacy. And our 9th principle is, don't ever stop in your pursuit of living a legacy. Many people have accomplished tremendous things later on in their lives. There is never a time to stop in your pursuit of creating and living a legacy. Sometimes older people will say, well, I'm 65 and I'll never change. But that won't build a great life. In today's environment, you could live another 40 years after that. No, there's always time to do more, to achieve more, to help more, to serve more, to teach more, and to learn more. Keep going and growing that legacy. These are the 9 core principles to live by if you want to become the kind of person who creates and lives a lasting legacy. Your legacy is what you live by each day, and then it remains on earth after you passed away through the lives of generations to come. Learn more on how to understand, choose, focus, and live your legacy. On our trek today, we did learn and apply the 9 principles for creating and living a legacy. This should be of utmost importance to us each day. As part of our legacy, I would encourage you to invite others onto the trek with us each day so that they can come along with us for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. And tomorrow we will explore the 4 D trails to change bad habits. That will finish our podcast for today. Remember to listen to your daily dose of wisdom at wisdom-trek.com or subscribe at iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, or YouTube so that the episodes will be downloaded to you automatically each day. And I would like to please ask that you share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person as you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day on our Wisdom Trek. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.